On the trade front, in your oil patch, Australia is still hoping to progress that long-stalled EU free trade agreement. There is potential for progress given we've seen the EU now tick off on a big deal with Latin American countries. What are your red lines here? What would you like to see the Trade Minister not cave on?
Yeah, look, we saw, Trudy, last week the Mercosur deal, the South American deal, that progressed another way through the European Parliament. So they've been waiting to talk to us and to sign off the EU-Australia deal after the Mercosur deal was done, and it now effectively has been done. I actually think we're going to see the EU-Australia deal done very quickly. I think it might be done within the next month or so. But look, I'm hearing a lot of reservations from stakeholders around this deal, mainly in the ag sector. You know, access for beef, access for sugar, access for other ag products, very important. The Trade Minister and Prime Minister cannot sell out our farmers here. And the other issue is geographical indicators. That's the Proseccos, the feta cheese. We need to still be able to export our Prosecco, export our feta, if that's what those producers want to do. So I'm hearing a lot of nervousness about the deal. There is some talk that they would just want to do the deal to do a deal. I supported the government last time in not doing the deal with the EU because it wasn't good enough. The Australian government cannot sell out our farmers, Trudy, and I'm hearing a lot of nervousness that they're about to. So they need to hold out for good access for our farmers into Europe.
Well, we'll watch this space. There's always been a lot of talk about this deal being on the cusp of being signed and nothing has eventuated yet. On a separate matter, we're seeing today the Resources Minister announce new details in terms of the critical mineral reserve. Do you think the government's doing enough to tap into that potential here for Australia to be a more reliable supplier compared to China?
Well, look, an interesting question follow-up there, Trudy, given we've just been talking about the free trade agreement with Europe. So we are a reliable supplier of critical minerals, and the whole world needs them. We are one of a very few reliable suppliers. So that's, of course, a leverage point and a negotiating thing that our government has when doing an EU free trade agreement. So this is where they should be able to get really good access for our farmers. They should be able to get really good deals done on geographical indicators for those people as well, because Europe and other countries want our critical minerals and they want reliable supply chains. So the government, the Australian government, has a really good card in their deck. They need to play it. They don't need to sell out our farmers. They have a critical minerals supply chain reliability for these countries and they need to use it.
Kevin, a final one, we're hearing still no date yet for when Parliament is going to return. Do you have any indication yet from the government as to when you could be back here in Canberra? Has any progress been made on briefings when it comes to the new hate speech laws?
No, we've heard nothing officially, or at least I haven't. We're having a meeting this afternoon as leadership, but I haven't heard anything as yet, Trudy. Just what we're hearing through the media. Last week, it might have been this week or next week. We think we will be have a special sitting on hate speech laws. So we're expecting to hear something from the government soon, but we haven't heard now. And on hate speech, obviously, we would prefer this to be confined to these radical preachers who are spreading hate and inciting these people. We'll obviously support stuff like that, but we've got to be careful too that we saw the misinformation bill the government spoke about in the last Parliament, and this isn't just to stop memes being put up that the Prime Minister doesn't like about himself either. This is about hate speech and people inciting this hatred that we've seen in this country, and obviously we'll support that.
Deputy Nationals Leader Kevin Hogan, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thanks, Jodie.